right, we are standing outside the former cult mansion here on Main Street, or Weathersfield Street, I guess it is, here in Hartford. This used to belong to the cults of the cult gun fame. And when Lady Cult, the lady of the house, died in whatever year, she gave this mansion and the grounds, all the grounds around the mansion, to the city. All right, and she wanted a park in the city, I believe. That was her choice. And as far as the mansion, she wanted it to be used as housing for Episcopal women, I believe it was. And it is so today. It houses Episcopal women. It's all women, and it's Episcopal. Okay. It's run today, even today, by the cult trust, I believe, that was set up by her in the will. Okay. Armsmere, and it is a sight. The mansion's kind of been done over a bit and kind of chopped up, and this is not part of the original. That's the original there. Anyways, next to Armsmere is Colt Park. Okay, and this is something to see. It is right next door to Armsmere here. Okay, now this is Colt Park here. Okay, it used to be part of the grounds of the estate, the Colt mansion, and also it used to be the grounds of the factory, the Colt factory, that was at one time here in downtown Hartford. So all this was Colt land, and when the old lady died, it was given to the house was given to Episcopal women, and then the land, I believe, was given to the city. Okay, and just recently, I think Obama federalized or nationalized this park. So now, instead of Hartford maintaining it and caring for it, or Connecticut or whoever, now they're going to get federal dollars here, and improvements are going to begin. So it's going to be a whole different thing now here at Colt Park. Anyways, I'm showing this to you. I told you that because I want to tell you this. There was a documentary out about a year or so ago called Strike a Pose. And it was about the dancers that Madonna took on tour in one of her major tours, and she took all around the country and overseas, and these dancers, many of them were gay, and they were all young and so on and so forth and stuff like that. So anyway, she did a tour, and they made a movie out of the tour. Okay, and in the movie, she, just says, that proudly kind of, lets the public know that some of these guys are gay and stuff like that. So anyways, and, everybody's having a good time. Everybody's laughing, So anyways, the tour ends, and all of a sudden these guys are out of work. And but they're famous. So most of them are from New York, I believe. So most of them are famous. So hey, they're hitting the clubs. Night after night, day after day, they're hitting the clubs and doing the drugs in the clubs and stuff like that until they run out of money, until the notoriety is gone. No more star power to get in these clubs and to get these drugs and on and on and on. So a few years after the tour, they bring a lawsuit against Madonna, saying, she outed us and this movie has hurt me and getting work and getting a job. And, so a group of them, or all of them, sued Madonna, for money. Okay. All right. So that's their history that is brought out in this documentary called Strike a Pose. Okay. And what they do in the documentary is they go to each individual dancer and they kind of show his life. What's he doing? How's his life today? Things like that. Okay. His memories of the tour and stuff like that. And there's one guy in particular that really caught my eye and my attention. One of the dancers is living at home with his mother and, I'm sure there's 3 other children or something. But this 50-year-old, 60-year-old man is at home with his mother. And we first see her apartment in New York. And, he invites the camera crew in, and the camera crew follows him down the hall to the living room and says, oh, you got to meet my mother. And, he's all, he's proud man, former Madonna dancer. And, and he goes past his bedroom and, the door opens and this beautiful young, 18-year-old man bops his head out and, this 50-year-old guy says, oh, that's my bedroom, that's my boyfriend. And, so the camera follows him to the living room where his mother sits like Jabba the Hutt on a throne in the living room. I tried to get clips of this. I couldn't. And she speaks, the documentarian asks her a question. And she only speaks in Spanish. Okay. And so the man, her son, has to interpret. So she's sitting there, and you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, oh, this woman, you see her, some people will think, oh, this woman, she is just lazy and she don't care. And, but looking at her and watching the way she reacted or interacted with her son told me, no, Mama's not fat because she's lazy. Mama's angry. And Mama's been eating a lot of anger up, And so, anyways, they go back to the story and they cut away from her. Later in the film, the documentary wants to interview his mother again. And so the man's all more than willing, And she'll speak only in Spanish. So her son has to hear it in Spanish and then turn it into English for the filmmaker. And so the documentary, what do you think of your son? Oh, he was a big star. He was a famous star. I was such the pride of the neighborhood. I would go shopping and everybody would say, "Oh, that's your son I saw. What city is your son in now? Oh, you must be so proud." And I would walk down the street and I'd be so proud, you know. And then he asks about today and about since then. And she lets this 60-year-old, 50-year-old man who has been living with her his entire life, she lets him have it. You know, "I am ashamed of you. You know, you are not, you're a big disappointment. You know, you've done nothing with your life." You know, she lets him have it. And, sitting there, you don't know who to root for. At least I, as a homeless 50-year-old man, don't know who to root for here. Because her son is like crying, okay? He is in tears, having to translate to the American public the words that his mother are telling him, in their native tongue. And he is just in tears, translating how his mother can't stand him. And all he does is stay around the house. And all he does is hang out. And all he doesn't work. He doesn't do anything. He never leaves. He never moves. He never gets a job. He never gets out of the house. He never does anything. I'm so ashamed now that I don't even go outside to do the market anymore. Because the women now know my 50-year-old son lives down the hall. Remarkable. Like I said, I tried to get the clip somewhere off of YouTube, but not quite there, And and it's like, how many experiences have I had in the country the last 4 years that I have met homosexual men. We're not talking 19-year-old young men. We're not talking 20-year-old young men. I'm talking 50, 45-year-old men who have no job and are homosexual and living at home with their mother. Give me the fields. I'll take the fields. Because even if I was in my mother's bed, if she were alive today, and I had my bedroom from the factory days, I don't think in good conscience I could sleep in that bed. From Colt Park, here in downtown Hartford.